6. The Scream. That night, the wind blew fiercely, bringing an unnatural chill. Helena locked her cabin and invited him to spend the night there, not out of hospitality, but out of survival instinct. "Listen to what I'm going to say," she warned. "If you hear your name being called, don't answer." Braddock smiled, thinking it was an exaggeration. But the smile vanished when the wind brought something that sounded a whisper. "Michael." The sound was faint but clear. "It must be an echo," he said, trying to sound rational. But Helena was pale. "They've already noticed your presence," she murmured. "Now they want you to see them, all of them." Suddenly a scream cut through the air, a human scream, sharp, desperate. It sounded like the scream of a dying man, the same kind of scream that, according to reports, echoed there in 1863. The cabin trembled, the windows vibrated, and the scream repeated itself twice, 3 times. Helena clutched her rosary in her hands. "It's always worse on the first day," she whispered. 7. The Shadowless Soldier. The next morning, Braddock decided to walk alone. The fog had lifted early, as if waiting for him. He followed it to an ancient tree, which Helena had mentioned the night before. They said a Confederate captain had been bayoneted there, and that his spirit never left the place. The tree was enormous, twisted like an ancient hand. Beneath it, the ground seemed sunken, as if something were buried there. Braddock examined the earth when he felt something behind him. Footsteps, slow, heavy. He turned around. A man in a gray uniform stood a few feet away. A young face, derby. A wound in his stomach bled perpetually. The soldier didn't blink. Braddock held his breath. The soldier raised his hand as if asking for silence. Then he took a step, then another, and another. When he approached the light, Braddock realized something impossible. The soldier had no shadow. None. The sunlight hit him, passed through him, and cast a shadow only from the tree behind. Braddock took a step back. What do you want?" he asked. The soldier opened his mouth, but no sound came out. None. Just a silent movement, as if he was screaming without a voice. And then he disappeared before his eyes. The earth under the tree sunk a little further. 8. The Discovery. Braddock ran back to get a shovel. Something was buried there. He dug for almost an hour, sweating, trembling, until he heard the dry sound of wood against metal. It was a coffin, old, rotten, but still whole. With trembling hands, he removed the lid. The body inside was surprisingly preserved. A young man, gray uniform, bayonet still embedded in his stomach. The same wound as the shadowless soldier. But there was something even more shocking. The body's face was frozen in a silent scream, exactly like the spirit Braddock had seen. And below the dead soldier's hands, there was a medallion with an inscription. Samuel Crow, 1843. Crow. Helena's last name. 9. The truth. Braddock ran to the cabin. Helena sat as if she knew what he had found. "It's my great-great-grandfather," she said, before he could even speak. Braddock felt a chill in his chest. "So, all this? The spirits? They're trapped here because—" Helena sighed. "Because the war wasn't over for them. Because they died far from home, without a goodbye, without justice." She stood and touched the medallion. Samuel never knew his family searched for him for years. Never knew he had children, grandchildren, descendants. She wiped away a tear. He resisted until the very last second. He didn't want to die there, and he didn't accept that he was dead. Braddock swallowed hard. "And how do we free him?" Helena looked at the valley. "Freeing one means freeing them all." Braddock recoiled. "That's impossible." "No, Doctor," Helena replied. "But it requires courage. It requires listening to the dead without running from them." She approached and placed a hand on his shoulder. "And now they have chosen you." 10. The Call of the Dead. That night, Braddock heard the drum again. Then footsteps, then screams, then whispers. He went out to the field and saw hundreds. Men in blue, men in gray, some whole, others mutilated. Some wept, others wandered aimlessly. But they all stopped when he appeared. A figure walked ahead, Samuel Crow, the shadowless soldier. He pointed at Braddock, at the medallion, and at the sky. Braddock took a deep breath. "You want to be remembered," he said, his voice trembling. "They want their stories to be told. They want the world to know what happened here." The figures began to disappear, one by one, like smoke carried away by the wind, until Samuel remained. He looked at the medallion, then at the sky, and smiled for the first time in over 160 years. Then he dissolved into light and disappeared. 11. The final silence. The wind stopped. The drums ceased. The footsteps faded, and the valley of whispers became quiet. For the first time since the war, Braddock fell to his knees, exhausted. Helena appeared beside him. "They finally rested," she said. Braddock looked at the empty valley. "So, it's over?" She smiled softly. "For them, yes. For you, now it's your responsibility." "My responsibility?" "To tell their story." Helena placed her hand on the medallion, because if the world forgets, they will return. 12. The end of Chapter 1. Braddock left the valley the next day, but he was never the same again. He made a silent vow. No soldier will fall into oblivion while I live. And so began his journey. A journey that would take him to other fields, other battles, other lost souls. Because the dead still had much to say. And this was only the first voice among thousands.